Cagayan de Oro is best known for whitewater rafting and kayaking adventures. This first-class and capital city in the province of Misamis Oriental has been dubbed the river rafting capital of the Philippines. Cagayan de Oro, known as the gateway to the land of promise and the heart of northern Mindanao, was also tagged as the city of golden friendship. Join us today as we feature Cagayan de Oro City, the largest city in northern Mindanao. I am Dr. Victor B. Enriga and this is Tax TV, a taxpayer's guide to Philippine taxation. Cagayan de Oro is a first-class, highly urbanized city and the capital of the province of Misamis Oriental. It is a chartered city where government is independent and separate from Misamis Oriental. Cagayan de Oro is the Philippines' most competitive city. In 2012, Cities Competitive Report, the first one released by the National Competitive Council, CDO bested 122 cities in terms of competitiveness, while San Francisco in Agusan del Sur topped the list of 163 first-class municipality. The presence of Mindanao LGUs in the top 50 of the list indicates that government efforts to build peace and harness the potential of Mindanao is on the right track. The government efficiency indicator had transparency and accountability, public finance, performance recognition, business responsiveness, and basic government services. Cagayan de Oro is rich in natural resources, both underneath and on land. It is also the most convincing starting point when planning a trip to northern Mindanao. Cagayan de Oro is the largest city in northern Mindanao, Region 10, with an area of 57,851 square kilometers. Cagayan de Oro City topped the inaugural edition of the Livable Cities Design Challenge Philippines. Cagayan de Oro was adjudged the grand winner in the Government Evacuation Center category for its entry Oro Center. It is a planning and design competition aimed at capacitating city planners across the country to better plan their respective cities and municipalities for a climate-defined future by being more aware and better prepared to disaster risk reduction. The meteoric rise of the local business process outsourcing industry has put Cagayan de Oro in a strategic position as one of the country's top information technology and business process management hub today. In fact, the selection of Cagayan de Oro among next wave cities in 2015 is an indication of the city's huge potentials and market demand as an emerging location of the country's booming IT BPM industry. A good pool of English-speaking youth, availability of ICT infrastructure, urban amenities and facilities, and local government's incentives and support made the development of this industry possible in Cagayan de Oro. This is Tax TV. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Poverty alleviation and peace and order. It is the policy of the Oscar Moreno administration to empower the poor, to contribute to development, and to maintain peace and order in the city. This administration put in tandem housing and settlement, job creation, access to livelihood, cooperative development to attain these primary objectives, revenue generation, improving systems and capacities for revenue generation. This is the battle cry of this administration, to be able to deliver the social services and information development in the city. Infrastructure and investment. With proper urban planning, enhanced infrastructure support, balanced and equitable investments in facilities. This administration is committed to make CDO a haven for investors. Metropolization. Being the largest city in Region 10 and center of commerce in Mindanao, CDO is going to be the catalyst for regional growth in the country. Education and environmental protection. Cagayan de Oro will strive to pursue and enhance its role to be the educational center of Northern Mindanao. CDO will ensure sustainability by putting in place measures for the protection of environment. Health and hospital services. The city government is addressing health issues related to maternal care and safe motherhood. Potable and safe drinking water. Immunization for the young and adult. Automation of health data management and improvement of health facilities in the entire city. Agricultural productivity. Effective farm-to-market road construction is a priority. Improvement of farmers' productivity and development of new farm product markets will be pursued by the local administration. Teamwork and tourism. Existing tourism destinations will be redeveloped into a world-class facilities, and new tourism destination will be developed. CDO, as the river rafting capital of the Philippines, shall be promoted further by the city. This is Tax TV. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. We have with us today the Mayor of Cagayan de Oro City, the Honorable Oscar Oca S. Moreno. Mr. Moreno was representative of the 1st District of Misamis Oriental from 1998 to 2004. He ran for governor of Misamis Oriental and became its governor from 2004 to 2013. In 2013, he won the mayoralty race in Cagayan de Oro and became its mayor and chief executive officer. Can you discuss the more or less the budget allocation, especially for education?
Now, as mayor,
Yeah.
in my first term, wow, I did not realize I was able to put up more than 400 classrooms in just one term.
In just one term.
That's right.
And
So,
despite that, the opposition controls the majority.
that's correct. Of course, the reason for that, the council has been very uncooperative. In fact, they have virtually given me zero budget authority.
Zero
I had
budget
to rely on a
authority.
reenacted budget year after year after year.
So it was a reenacted budget.
Reenacted, and as you know, Dr. Vic, in a reenacted budget, the real budget that is actually reenacted is just about 60% of the previous year's budget. No?
Yeah, because more on salaries and wages
That's
only.
correct.
On infra,
That's
zero.
correct, zero, yeah, and that's why we had to do some, we had to look for ways, no? Now, there are services that are supposed to be funded by special,
Yeah. Special
special
funds.
monies, no?
Yeah.
Like education, you have the special education fund, and then, of course, health services.
Yeah, health services.
Under the law on PhilHealth, all the monies that PhilHealth pays out of the PhilHealth claims, the law requires that this money should be flowed back
Yeah,
to health services, no? And these are also treated as special funds, no?
Ah.
That's why in education and health,
So that's where you concentrated on.
the refusal to cooperate has not been meaningful because we had been able to deliver because
Yeah.
of these special fundings. You know, in the last election, of course, I asked the people not only to give me another mandate, but also to give me a cooperative vice mayor and a cooperative city council, and the people gave me those things. You know, in my first term, the opposition, my detractors had totally outnumbered. They had very
Always outvoted, huh?
we were always outvoted, and they could even override my veto. They could even override my veto. So, in fact, they even reduced or they even amended our tax code to make it. Yeah, they succeeded in amending the tax code because they knew that I was collecting
big
in
amount
an
of
efficient manner. No?
Cagayan de Oro also in the last election convincingly won, especially in the LP. I think you got more than 40% of the votes, or 97,000 plus. Where do you account this big win over your strong opponents?
Of course, I would attribute it to performance. Actually, it was also the reason why the people voted for me in 2013.
Yeah.
Because the people saw what I did in the province when I was governor for 9 years.
Right now, Cagayan de Oro belongs to the Billionaires Club. Last
Still-
year, your annual collection was more than 2 billion. Where do you account the significant increase in your tax revenue collection?
Well, it's a combination.
Yeah.
You have to have a good treasurer, and then you have to have, it's really the improvement of the system. And of course, it's also very important that there is performance, no?
Yeah.
So that it's universal that there is that resistance to pay taxes. This is universal.
Yeah. I think
so the idea-
you're already completely computerized in your system. I think
Yes,
it's really
yes.
all computerized.
Yes, and that precisely had factored in our efficiency. That had contributed to our improved efficiency in our city hall. Now, of course, the ease of doing business has also made people realize that the money that they had paid had been spent well.
Yeah, spend well. Yeah.
And also in the performance, health services, schools,
Yeah.
and all those
infrastructures,
things.
of course.
Infrastructure, certainly.
I think Cagayan de Oro has the letter T. What does that stand for? Letter T?
That's traffic, tourism, and teamwork. The
Ah.
prime hat.
So,
prime
do you think do you have any tourism projects that could match the Boracay?
Well, Boracay has the fine, and we're happy for Boracay, and of course we are also a coastal city, a coastal province, referring to Misamis Oriental, no? But we don't have the white sand.
Yeah, white sand.
But we have good sand and the good sea, and of course clean sea as well, no?
Yeah.
But here in Cagayan de Oro, it's whitewater rafting, really, that has attracted.
How about peace and order here in Cagayan de Oro?
We are quite happy, although it's a continuing challenge, and we will never stop to improve.
Do you have any scholarship program?
Yes, we do, Doc, and in fact, we're a member of the Sinergia group of cities and LGUs, and we're very happy with it. And we are also pushing forward with our infrastructure program, and we have joint projects with private corporations like PLDT, Ayala. So we have those programs like Text to Teach, and Infotech and all that. No?
Around how many scholars do we have now right here in Cagayan de Oro?
Easily 600.
600
And we
scholars.
even give honorarium for them.
Honorarium,
There
like
is
stipend
even
for them.
honorarium. Yes, correct.
During the last election, you also promised not to increase taxes, fees, and charges. When was the last time that the general revision of real properties was made here in Cagayan de
Wow,
Oro?
it's been a long time already, and actually, since I started as mayor, I have never imposed any new tax.
New tax.
I have never increased any tax rate. In fact, in my first term, the uncooperative city council had managed to reduce some of the tax rates of some taxes, no? But I had made it up with increased efficiency.
So it's really efficiency.
It's really efficiency.
So on the first term, I think you were able, on the first year, I think you were able to increase collections to
More
up
than
to
100.
more than 37%.
Very, very
Yeah, it's really
impressive increase.
Very, very impressive,
Very
because
impressive.
usually the increases is only around 5 to 10%.
That's correct.
Now in your case, you were able to increase it to 37%. It's
Just
really,
with increased efficiency, professionalized efficiency.
And how prepared is Cagayan de Oro for disasters?
Well, thanks God, we have put up a good disaster risk reduction management team. Of course, the lesson of Sendong has taught us. It was a very painful lesson. And when I assumed office in 2013, almost 2 years after Sendong, first thing that I did was to organize our city disaster risk reduction management team. Now, our team is a consistent winner at the regional level and has already made it at the national level as well.
You were almost removed from office
Yeah.
because of one case,
Yeah.
the famous Ajinomoto case. Could
Yeah.
you expound on this?
Well, Ajinomoto case was a very simple case. Ajinomoto is classified as non-essential.
So they classified it as
But
non-essential.
Previous administration,
Yeah.
the previous mayor, previous treasurer, classified that product as essential.
Essential, so
So-
50% discount.
Precisely. So Ajinomoto was paying 50% of
Less.
of the tax due.
Yeah.
Now, so all that we did was the treasurer asked me, we will reclassify Ajinomoto to non-essential.
Non-essential.
And that would mean a 100%
100% increase, yeah.
And I said, yes, go ahead. So he did. And of course, aside from classifying it to non-essential, he also assessed Ajinomoto for prior years.
Yeah, prior years.
I think up to 2006, because years before 2006 had already been prescribed.
Prescribed already.
It had already been prescribed. No? But I think that the assessment was more of a strategy
Yeah.
to ensure that Ajinomoto would agree to the reclassification.
So reclassification meaning forward, onwards, you will now
Yes.
be classified as non-essential.
Now, Ajinomoto, as expected, resisted the classification. They resisted the reclassification. That's why the treasurer came up with the assessment for prior years.
Yeah.
It was more of a negotiating
So like a
strategy.
compromise.
Yes.
Oh.
And so, indeed, there was a settlement,
Yeah.
which was approved by the court and moved, pushed by the mediation
Yeah.
officials. No? Now, the settlement, what the settlement covered was from that the classification would be changed to non-essential,
Non-essential.
but on a prospective basis.
Yeah.
And then Ajinomoto agreed to pay 300,000.
Additional from prior years.
Not really for prior years, because actually
Yeah.
there was Ajinomoto had every reason not to pay
Yeah.
for the prior years,
Yeah.
because Ajinomoto made the payment on the basis of the classification that the city has made.
Yeah.
So it was not the mistake of Ajinomoto, but rather the mistake of the city government.
Yeah, city government.
But the Ajinomoto still agreed to pay, they offered to pay 300,000 as a sort of
Good gesture.
goodwill.
Yeah, goodwill.
But it was, our detractors presented it because the claim, the total claim for the prior years had reached about 2.9. And so we accepted 300,000. So the theory was, the claim was 2.9, and yet the Moreno
was
and the
300.
treasurer accepted a 300,000 payment, which is
way below.
My God, there's a huge difference.
yeah,
So the suggestion, the insinuation was we
Something.
pocketed,
Pocketed
something.
Of
Course not. In fact, now the ombudsman found us guilty of gross misbehavior. And fortunately, I was able to obtain a TRO, and which was later converted to an injunction
As an
with the
injunction.
Court of Appeals.
Yeah.
And later on, the Court of Appeals reversed the ombudsman.
So right now, the Court of Appeals has already made a decision that,
Yeah, but
the assessment is correct.
The ombudsman asked for a reconsideration.
A reconsideration again.
But of course, you know, in my case, you know, this is one issue that actually is very important,
Yeah.
especially for local governments, because the treasurer's functions are clearly defined in
Yeah,
the
local
local
government
government code.
Yeah.
It's not as if that the mayor is the one who decides.
Yeah, it's the
no, it's the
treasurer.
treasurer who decides, and the boss of the treasurer is the Department of Finance, not the mayor.
Not under the mayor.
Imagine if the mayor would decide who to tax and who not to tax.
Yeah.
My God.
It will be a political issues.
Of course. So, I hope that people would realize that. Secondly, when my treasurer agreed to the settlement, there was really, it was not as if that it was a compromise, because a compromise assumes
Yeah.
that you give up something.
Yeah.
So Cagayan de Oro, the city did not give up anything,
Yeah.
because the city in fact received 300,000 plus the reclassification to
double the amount.
non-essential
Yeah.
that would double the local
The
the
income.
taxes received, no? So we gained from that.
Yeah, it's a
We
big
did not
gain.
give up anything. So it was not really a compromise in the strict in the
In the
strict
strict
sense of
sense,
the
yeah.
word, no? Now, in my case, I was not aware of the settlement. But when I
Yeah.
came to know of it, I said, "Good work."
Go.
Good work. No,
Good work.
But it was already
Yeah,
done
yeah.
when I became aware of it. And then anyway, the worst thing was I filed my counter affidavit. To
You
res-
filed.
I filed.
Ah.
Unfortunately, the Office of the Ombudsman did not see that.
They did not
I don't know
evaluate that.
where it reached. I don't know where it went.
Maybe it just
I don't know
loss in action.
what
huh?
happened to it. I don't know. How I wish I could I'd be able to find out. But it was really very unfortunate. Imagine I was found guilty,
Yeah.
and I was ordered dismissed,
Yeah.
and I was also ordered disqualified perpetually
Eh,
to hold any
disqualification
public.
from
Oh, God,
entering
it
the
was a
public
very
service.
painful decision. Very painful decision.
From the city of Golden Friendship, what is your message being a Cagayanons to the Filipino people?
Pasiyo mo din eh. Ah,
Yeah, of course.
come,
yeah.
come. You're all welcome.
Yeah.
And of course, we're also trying our best to be part of in this national endeavor of nation building.
So, thank you very much and
Salamat po,
congratulations
Doc.
for your second term.
Salamat
Mabuhay po
po.
kayo and more power po.
Salamat po. Salamat.
Cagayan de Oro is a place where you can feel safe, secure, and comfortable. You can visit Cagayan de Oro anytime. Throughout the Philippines, Cagayanons are well known for being the friendliest people in the country. The resources needed to create a competitive city are immense because of so many factors to consider in public governance. But a competitive city must be a resilient city. The Cagayan de Oro government is moving towards resiliency along many fronts: economic stability, healthy communities, human resource development, disaster preparedness, and risk mitigations, and sustainable infrastructure and physical improvements. Cagayan de Oro under Oscar S. Moreno administration is surely for a healthier, more productive, and secure citizenry. Let us help build our nation. Give your share by paying your taxes correctly and promptly for a better tomorrow. Once again, I am Dr. Victor B. Endriga, and this is Tax TV, a taxpayer's guide for Philippine taxation.
For comments, questions, and suggestions on our topic today, you may email us at taxtvph@gmail.com, and Dr. Victor Endriga will gladly answer your queries.